I always swear I'm going to change at the new year, and then I kind of lose track, I lose focus, and before I know it, everything I wanted so badly is out the window. But 2024 is gonna be different. Instead of just wishing I was different or magically formed habits in the new year, I mapped it out. I wrote out the specific habits that I really want to see happen for me in 2024. I also created a vision board to help me envision or manifest the life of my dreams for the new year. These habits would also be great for you to tweak to your needs and aim for too. Before I start rambling, let's just start off with the habits themselves. Number 1 is to simply eat better and move more. 2 is be on my phone a lot less. 3 is read. 4 is stay consistent on social media, and 5 is make real estate a top priority. These are not earth-shattering habits, it's nothing new, but these are things that I struggled with this past year. Let's talk about how I plan to execute them. I can't really talk about executing them without first mentioning this book, which I'm almost done with, but I'm getting the gist. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I unintentionally am reading this right before the new year, but it's really inspiring me to get my stuff together before January 1st. To move more, first of all, I joined the YMCA where I live. I live in a really small town, and they play pickleball every Tuesday and Thursday. I plan to put this at 1 p.m. in my calendar for those days and make it an appointment with myself. I'd also really like to try a couple of Pilates classes. To eat better, I've already kind of started on this, but I feel like the main thing for me is really this simple. Do not go to the grocery store hungry. It's also really important that I only go to the store when I have a list. I find that these two things really help me to eat less sugar because I don't have sweets in my house. Along these same lines, I really want to not eat late, and I also want to drink less coffee. I think I've been in denial about having a sensitive stomach, and coffee is definitely not helping that or my anxiety. To be on my phone less, I'm using a tool that is free on iPhones called Screen Time. I had heard of this, but I never really considered it as an option for me because I didn't want to put limits on myself, but that was actually really detrimental to me this past year. I set my limits for TikTok and Instagram to be 30 minutes a day and then 40 minutes a day on the weekends, and YouTube an hour. A lot of times I will put a YouTube video on while I'm doing something productive. Those limits might change, but that would really cut down the amount of time I'm on my phone. Along with this, I don't want to bring my phone to meals and just try to be more present with the people I love the most. To read, I'm simply going to read. I've already been doing this for a couple months, which is really crazy to say because last year I was horrible about reading. But this year, the last few months, I've been reading as soon as I wake up. So that helps me not be on my phone right when I wake up. And it helps me not dive into the noise of the world on social media. I feel like my brain is immediately overwhelmed whenever I just roll over and immediately get on my phone. To be consistent on social media, this honestly might be my biggest goal, which may conflict the whole phone thing, but I have faith that I can execute this. I just started a Notion account. If you haven't heard of Notion, it's basically like all you need in an organizer, and it's online. It is free. So I spent many hours laying it out, making my dream Notion. I'm still gonna tweak it, but my goal is to get on this every single day and use the tools that it provides. Another thing with social media is organizing my camera roll. I have thousands upon thousands of things in my camera roll, so I really want to prioritize cleaning that out. The last thing that I think is gonna really help me execute this is keeping my phone tripod and my phone light with me. A lot of times I am alone and I have a content idea, but I don't film it because I can't put my phone upright or the lighting is really bad, so those two things really take care of those, so I have no excuse. For real estate, this is right up there with social media. It's really important to me. I plan to attend the group meetings every week on Wednesdays. Along with that, I plan to do real estate before lunch and social media after lunch. That might be overly simplistic, but if I can have a divider in my day, I feel like that will help me not get overwhelmed with all of the things in my brain. Coming back to Atomic Habits, I want to talk about some of the principles that I've learned from this book so far. A huge one is that habits require action, not desire. Although you can desire a change in your life all you want, it's never going to materialize if you don't take action. And I'm really bad about this. I spend a lot of time in my head daydreaming about my alter ego or what my perfect self would do, and then I don't execute that at all. And it's really frustrating. Habits will be easier to achieve if you prepare your environment. What I mean by that is doing really simple things that visually signify a cue. So this could mean when you get home, you take your laptop out and put it on your work desk at home. So in the morning, you aren't overwhelmed by the fact that your laptop's dead or it's not laid out or you have to plug your mouse in. It's already there, set up, you just have to sit down and open it. Another example of this is having an organized closet. Leaving the house can be overwhelming if you feel like you can't even get through the clothes that you need to wear. Having a really organized and simplified closet could make getting ready and leaving that much easier. If you're trying to drink more water, the night before you go to bed, set out your clean Stanley cup and a water bottle and lay it out on your counter, so that way when you go into your kitchen in the morning, it's right there. Along with this is making it harder to perform your bad habits. This could mean deleting your social media apps for a day or the work week. It could mean not keeping junk food in your house. You should reward yourself once you complete a habit you're trying to form. And the reward doesn't have to cost money. It could be taking a bath, taking a walk, watching a show you love, something along those lines. You just need to try to be 1% better every day. This is something I had never really thought of, but like when I think of adopting a new habit, I'm always like, okay, it has to be 100% every day or I have failed. That's not true at all. Just you showing up to a habit. Say my goal is to move more, but I can't make it to pickleball that day. I can do jumping jacks for 2 minutes. 2 minutes may not seem like a lot, but it's better than 0. That's more than I've done in the past. So I would say that's 1% better. Surround yourself with people you want to be like. Part of this for me and having my own business is going to weekly team meetings on Wednesday to be around like-minded people who have really similar goals as me. Also, if you have friends who maybe are smarter than you or you think are more achieved than you, go to lunch with them or have a date where you both work on something on your laptops at a coffee shop. These don't have to be big tasks. On the flip side, if you have friends who encourage you to like smoke or sit on your phone all day or not get a job, limit your time with those people or cut them off. That's a lot easier said than done. And the last one I want to mention, although there's a lot more, is use a habit tracker. I actually made a habit tracker on my Notion, so I'm hopeful that I will stick to that. Basically, it's a calendar, and every day that you perform a habit, you put a symbol on your calendar representing that you completed that. Habit trackers are better when they are simple versus complex. Maybe have 3 different symbols for your 3 top goals, and every day that you complete those, put the symbol reflecting that goal. This really gives you a visual of your habits over time. So say you fail one day and it feels like the biggest failure ever, you can look back at your habit tracker or your calendar or whatever you're using and see that you haven't failed. You've actually performed a lot better than you think. Now I want to show you my vision board. So here it is. I made this on Canva. It's very basic, nothing fancy, but it's cute, it's visually pleasing, and I made it my iPhone lock screen so I see it every day. I also put it on my Notion home screen so I also see it there. All I did was I opened Canva, and then they have templates for blank iPhone screensavers, so it's already the exact dimensions you need. I created a blank one, and then I went to Pinterest and looked up pictures with the subject matter that I'm talking about that I thought were really cute or specifically inspired me. I even did a Chase bank account where I edited the amount of money that was in there to be the amount of money I want to see in there. There are so many cool things you can do with vision boards. If you want to use my template on Canva, it's free, and I'll put the link down below. Now I just want to take a little bit of time to reflect on 2023. Something that I've been thinking about a lot when I think about 2023 and like what I wish I had done different is the fact that I did not keep promises to myself. I told myself I would do stuff, and then I just simply allowed myself to not perform. And now I really have trust issues with myself, which sounds silly, but it's a legit thing. When you see people who are Olympians or CEOs or whatever, they are doing hard things because they are keeping promises to themselves. That's the overarching thing I really want to see change in me for the new year. I also spent an obscene amount on my phone, which felt productive in a way, but it was that thing where I just daydream about it and it inspires me and it gives me ideas, but then I never execute the ideas. I just spend more time scrolling. I also overate and I didn't move my body a lot. A lot of that has to do with, one, I moved to a really tiny town. Two, I got married, so I feel like a lot of people gain weight when they get married because you're just in love and happy and you just overeat. So I really do feel like that happened with me. Because I overate, I outgrew almost all of my jeans that used to fit me. I'd really like to fit back into some of those pants. But it wasn't all bad. I did read 6 books and I started like in September. So compared to 2022 where I read 0, I'm really happy with myself. I used to love reading and I just let it get away from me because I liked social media more. They don't even compare. They're like 2 completely different forms of entertainment. I've been budgeting with my husband. This is a newer thing. It's only been a few months, but we met up with a financial planner and this motivated us every month to sit down and look at each other's finances and map it out. I use Google Sheets for that, by the way. I switched real estate brokerages. That happened very recently. I feel like I transformed really at the end of the year. This was a really difficult thing for me, and there's a lot more to that. Maybe I could talk about it later, but it was a really big hurdle that felt almost impossible, but I reached my breaking point and I did it, and I'm so thankful. I listened to tons of podcasts. Podcasts are just so great. I started pickleball. I sold 4 houses. I got married, and that's been amazing. I got a dog. I got a house. There is a lot to be proud of with this year, but I could have done so much more. I want to hear what your habits are for 2024. Comment below and tell me what they are. Also tell me if you have read Atomic Habits and if it impacted your life. I'd love it if you followed me on Instagram and TikTok. Then you can see if I actually stay consistent on there. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I plan to post a lot more things like this and about real estate, and I love to vlog. And thank you so much for watching, especially if you are one of my old subscribers, because I haven't posted in like a year. It means a lot. I will see you next week.